What is up, guys? This is Josh the Gamer here, coming at you with a brand new video. So today we're going to be continuing our Quorum programming tutorial series, and in this tutorial we are going to be learning about classes. Now, classes are a very important concept to object-oriented programming because it's a way to organize specific sections of your program. So for example, if you're making a game or something, you're not going to want to have everything in one file. You're going to want to have everything in multiple different files. So for example, you want to have a class or a file that defines an entity such as the player or some kind of enemy. You're going to want a file that specifies different parts of the environment or stuff like that, and that is achieved through classes. And classes are pretty much, like I just explained, different ways to have multiple parts of a program in different files, but they also hold different actions that those parts of your program can use. So like for example, in our date time class and random class tutorials, those random and date time were classes, and they held different actions such as get month, get day, or net or something of that nature. That's because they were specifically in a category. So they did similar things. So let's actually go ahead and demonstrate this. So let's say I want to create a program that will bark and meow like a cat or something. What you're going to want to do is, in your project, find the source code folder, right click it, go to new, and then there should be an option that says Quorum class. Click on it, and I'm going to name this dog. Now, by default, when you create a new Quorum class, it's going to have an action main. You do not want that, because that will pretty much say, hey, Quorum, this is our main class, but dog is not our main class. Main.quorum is our main file. So we want to keep action main specifically in our main.quorum. In fact, let's go back over to main.quorum and actually define our main class and action. So the way you define a class is you do the class keyword, then the name of the class. So specifically this one's going to be called main. This also requires an end keyword. Then inside of our little class here, you're going to want to put action main, and then do that. So put an end there, and now we have our main class defined. We're going to save it, go back to dog.quorum, and we're going to define a few actions. So let's say we want the dog to walk and bark. So let's go ahead and create an action for barking. So action bark, and then we're going to say bark. So the actual voice is going to say bark. And then we're going to go ahead and do action walk, and inside of that action we're just going to say walking. So now we have two actions in our dog class, one for barking, one for walking. We're going to go back to our main.quorum. Inside of our class main, we want to actually use the actions in the dog class. However, we can't just say bark opening and close parentheses or something like that. We have to have an object of that class to be able to call those actions. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do dog. I'm going to say dog, just for simplicity. And that's it. That's all you need to do for instantiating an object. Now, inside of our action main, we're going to call these actions. So we're going to do dog, colon, and then you'll see a autocomplete menu that has bark, compare, equals, get hash code, and walk. Now, walk and bark are the only visible actions within our class. However, these three other actions that are there are not really of use to us at the moment. They're just they're generic actions that are in the object class of the class hierarchy. So go ahead and call bark, and we're also gonna do dog colon walk. So let's go ahead and save it, build successful, then run it.
Bark. Walking.
And there we go. That it said bark and walk, or walking rather. So that is pretty much how you use classes and create them within Quorum. It's very simple, and it's very, very useful, and you will be able to use or apply this knowledge in pretty much any object-oriented programming language, such as Java, C++, even JavaScript now to some degree. So it's a very, very useful concept to know. And that'll pretty much do it for this tutorial. We'll see you all in the next one.